Hello.
Where is the chat? I can't see it. Is it there?
Okay, so do you see where it says comments 120
Right off the
up on
get-go.
the top right?
No, I don't have that. Oh, hang on. Let me press this button. There we go. There we go. Right off the bat, true to form. No idea what I'm doing. Steve's on the beer and I'm on the coffee, the caffeine.
Yeah, I'm on the Jack the Lad beer. We'll probably have a beer of the week, maybe. We might do that. So, hello, everybody. You're all very welcome to the Rob and Steve show. Very first one ever. Hopefully, we've got Leona Faye out there in the chat. She's going to let us know if there's any testicle issues. And she'll shout at us. Before we get going...
Not from there, anyway.
Yeah, well, I don't know. They're old and a bit droopy, so they could be hanging down anywhere. Before we start, keep the chat friendly, keep it fun. I have got this set for not suitable for children, so if any children are around in your home and stuff, just be aware that a little swear word or something might just nip out every now and then. You know, we can't control that. It's a bit of crack and it's adults. So it is set to children, to non-children. So on your headspear, if your child's in and around the said video monitor type thingy. Also, if you have any questions throughout the show, put it in capital question and Leona will maybe grab it, throw it down on a piece of paper or something, and then when we ask, is there any questions, Leona can throw them up to us there and we'll answer them. So we'll get started. Welcome. I'm going to introduce you to Rob. He's that way at the moment. Rob, introduce yourself.
Do you know me? I'm Rob. Nice to meet you. I am Rob Summerlin. I live in Canada. I'm from England, Luton originally. That's where me and Steve met each other all those years ago. The first time I met Steve, I think somebody was sitting on top of him, beating the crap out of him. He was like, how old were you? 7?
Yeah, cheers for that, Rob.
That's how I met Steve. And it just went downhill from there.
Yeah, I was
he's never got
red-faced. Yeah, a bit red-faced and a bit fighty.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Anyway, who am I? What do I do? I'm an electrician. And for how many years now? 32 years. Wow. That's a long time. It might be longer than that. We're knocking on 33 years this year. Wood turning. I've been wood turning for just over 7 years. My dad was a wood turner and my great-great-grandfather was a wood turner. I've got a bowl upstairs that was his. So it's always been in the background. And I grew up with it as a kid, watching Dad in his shed. But I think he'd be blown away at all of this. This is just a whole new experience in wood turning with the social side of it and across the world. You know, YouTube is amazing. Dad never saw the wood turning on YouTube, so he would be impressed with all that.
Almost as baffled as you are every time you turn a computer on, eh?
I haven't got a clue what I'm doing. Not a clue.
We had a little mini meltdown before we started.
I had a little meltdown. We already had problems, didn't we? My camera wouldn't work.
I didn't. No, not yet. Touch wood. I'm knocking on wood.
No, I had problems.
I'm hoping that all this technology that I have got in front of me that I've been sitting and building and making for the last 3 or 4 days doesn't just go. I'm hoping anyway. Can I just have a thumbs up? A thumbs up from the chat. Maybe Leona could just let us know that everything's okay, sound is fine, and everything is working okay. Just before we do carry on with the full show. While we're doing that, I'll introduce myself because hopefully the mics and things aren't working and you won't hear it. I'm Steve Twydell. I live in Ireland on the west coast of Ireland in Sligo, right on the coast. And I've been here since 99. What's that? 21 years? I've been here 21 years, Rob. Yeah, so I've got a big family that are very noisy outside the door there. I'm actually in the house today, which is unusual. And I am also a wood turner. Most of you all know me anyway, but we're just doing this because this might go out as a podcast as well. I haven't told Rob that much, but shh, don't tell him. So
okay.
yeah, I'm also a wood turner. I have a YouTube channel, and I'm also across all the social medias doing other stuff as well. And I do quite a few lives. My history in wood turning isn't as exciting as Rob's. I started probably about 6 years ago. Rob actually introduced it to me, really, and helped me out getting
There's
started.
a really good story there. There's a really good story there, and I'm going to tell you right now.
Oh no, already?
Yeah, already. We're going to get right into it. Why not? So Steve came over to Canada in 2013, around September, and you stayed with us for a couple of weeks, and then you went back home to Ireland, and then my in-laws came over for Christmas. And December 13th, I remember the day like it was yesterday. And December the 13th, 2013, I found out my father-in-law had a lathe as well. I didn't know. So I said, Jeff, come on, let's go down to my dad's workshop in Bell River, which is 10 minutes down the road, and show me how to make a bowl. So I glued up 4 pieces of wood together, like that. Took them down to my dad's workshop, and Jeff put them on the lathe. There's a question there. Put them on the lathe, and Jeff turned a bowl. Now, I was kind of in and out watching and doing other things as well, and he turned a bowl, knocked out a bowl, and from then on, I just started wood turning. Initially, I still don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm just going with the flow, learning along the way. I'm learning along the way. I've never claimed to be professional, but apparently I'm really good at staining. for any of those that saw my recent Facebook, yeah, not my underpants. You saw the Facebook comment or the YouTube comment that somebody put in. It was it was my first troll incident. So I need a little doll troll, and I'm going to call it James, and I'm going to stick it right over there. Anyway,
actually, do you know, that could be a feature each week. Troll comment of the week.
There you go.
We'll actually highlight them and make them special. How's that?
Yeah, we could do that. Make them really special. Because at the end of the day, we're on YouTube. We're just here to have fun and learning along the way. I don't think any of us claim to be professional at what we're doing. We're all basically saying work safely to the manufacturer's guidelines and follow all the safety rules that come with your equipment and everything else. You know the risks. So we're not saying do this way, and if you hurt yourself, it's my fault. I'm not going to say that. None of us are. So, yeah, when somebody comes at you and tells you you're doing something wrong, it's like, you know what? It works. Shut up.
I've been told probably about 3,762.5 times. It's about that, I think, the last time I counted. That I am.
And you are.
Do you know that you sound like Snape? Like, there you go. I've just spent half my life turning this piece of whatever it is and editing it for 27,000 hours and getting stressed out because it's took 7 weeks to upload. Okay. And then I've had to re-upload it because YouTube said that there's a strike on it. So I've re-uploaded it. Right.
Yeah.
So you finally put it up, and all the person's got to say is, do you know you sound just like Snape? I could have just gone on and read
something, Steve?
Snape.
But do you know something, Steve? How long have we known each other?
About 300 years.
So anyway, in 300 years, I've never noticed this. But do you know something? You sound just like Snipe.
Snipe?
Who's Snipe, anyway? Swipe? I don't know. I don't watch bloody Lord of the Rings or Harry's Potter or whatever the hell it is. I
don't even know. I think Snipe was Harry Potter, wasn't it? I don't know.
I think it might be. Don't watch it. It's
too
long. It's almost like Star Wars. I loved Star Wars in the 70s, but now there's a million movies, and it's too much. Anyway, I know you don't like Star Wars.
It's a well-known fact across the YouTubes. I've told people before that I have never ever watched Star Wars.
I like the original 3. Those are the best.
Never watched it.
But but now it's too much. Anyway, so we've introduced ourselves.
Yes, that's just a taste of what Rob and Steve are all about. As Rob said, we've known each other probably 30 years. Anyway, well,
I
long
think I was
time.
going to say something and I've forgotten what it was already. Wasn't I in the middle of saying something?
That's just you and old man syndrome, I'm afraid. That's going to happen a lot in these shows.
Somebody in the comments tell me what I was about to say.
Is there any questions so far, Leona? We'll just take a quick... Well, I'll wait until any questions come up.
She says my sound is out of sync.
Your sound is out of sync, is it? Right. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what might sync that back up.
What's that then?
Is if you you
tell me
I'm scared
leave the program and come back in. I'm done.
Yeah, I'm telling you to leave the program and come back in, because that will.
If you tell me to do that, are you telling me to do that?
I'm telling you to do that, Rob.
Oh my God! Come on, be serious. Can you not worry about my lips?
Yeah, no, he's going to be in a little small box in a minute anyway, because he's going to be telling us about his wood. Aren't you, Rob?
Wood.
We won't go into that quite yet. Okay, I tell you what, I'm going to run through all the segments that we're going to have going through the show. This is going to be an ongoing weekly thing. Okay, it's not just me and Rob going to be sitting here chatting. There's going to be some serious, there's going to be some fun. We're looking, I think you're doing the first interview next week, aren't you? Yeah.
Actually, this Friday, I'm going to pre-record an interview with a professional wood turner. Some of you may know the name Ruby Clare. She's a professional wood turner. She's been turning for 40 years. She's a lovely lady, very eccentric, but she's an amazing wood turner. She really is. She's very artistic. She does painting. She's got a wide range of talents there with crafts. So on Friday, I'm going to be recording probably, I don't know, maybe a 10-minute interview, just a short, quick fire questions. And then she has agreed, as far as I understand it from our conversation the other night, that she will give us tips, professional tips that will help us all, because there's a lot of us out there, myself included. I've never had professional training, although I've taken a lot of advice from my dad and from her and from other people. But to actually have that advice firsthand, you think you're doing something right, but maybe you're doing it wrong, but you're not really sure. There's been many instances like that. And I've said to Ruby, I says, Ruby, this is what I'm doing. This is what I've seen others do. What's right? And she'll put me straight, which is what I think can help a lot of us. When it comes to tool presentation, types of cut, how you should be using the tool, speeds, there's so many questions in the air, for sure. So if any of you guys have any questions that you want a professional answer from, put them in the comments, and then Leona, if you could maybe jot them down, and we can present them to Ruby, and we'll get an answer for you. And again, it's not just about wood turning.
I can't promise something, Rob. If we have Ruby on as a guest, a live guest, I can't promise I'm not going to sing Ruby Don't Take Your Love to Town. I'm sorry. I will just have to do it. I sing it to Leona's dog every time I see it. So sorry. That's just the way it is. Right.
You want to serenade her? I don't know that we'll have her on live necessarily. I think it'll be a pre-recorded thing.
Yeah, maybe. That's what we're looking to do as well. We'll have some guests on. We'll do some pre-recorded guests. I can run the VT, as they call it, and we can watch the pre-recorded stuff and watch how it goes. I'm just going to change camera angle here.
Wayne.
Just so I can listen to him, Rob, his next plumber. I'm just going to show you some of the things that we're going to be doing. And like I said, this is all going to be the same every week unless something doesn't work, and then we're going to scrap it and we'll try something new. But we wanted to try and do a few segments, make it as interesting. We wanted it to be fun, We wanted it to be entertaining, and we wanted a few
It's
serious
all about Steve.
bits and pieces. It's all about me. Yeah, Rob's just
Yeah, it's
little
all
there.
about Steve.
Look, you're just there. You're just a little
Solid.
man on the screen there. Look at you.
Minion.
Tiny. You're just tiny.
You're just trying to get your back on me for sitting in that little chair.
Yeah. So this is how it's going to go. Not necessarily in this order, but I'm just going to show you the segments that we're going to hopefully get through this evening. We're going to have Wood of the Week, the Random Wheel of Convo, Fascinating Facts. Everybody loves a bit of news. Jigs and Tools. Rob's actually got a nice little jig he's going to be showing off to you this evening.
Let's get jiggy with it.
Rob and Steve looking back. Uh-oh. I think we've already done that a little bit. But I've got a couple of stupid videos to show you a bit later on that we're going to talk and discuss about. And it's little Robbie's birthday today. Happy birthday, Robbie. He's 8 today.
Yes. Happy birthday,
so
Robbie.
What a perfect day to introduce... What you got, Robbie? Okay.
That's not me. That's little Robbie.
No, that's little Robbie. So basically, they're all the segments. You'll find out what each of them are as we're going along. And they're just like little segments that we're going to put in and just try and get you to interact. We'd like you to interact as much as you can. If you have opinions, if you have questions, if you don't like it at all, that's fine. But hey, what we will ask you to do is give us our thumbs up, give us a share, and give us a subscribe if you're not already subscribed, because it all helps. And we want to try and build this into a weekly show that just goes, and who knows, there might be stuff that happens in the future. Okay,
this time next year.
This time next year, Rodney, we'll be millionaires.
Millionaires.
Rob, what we're going to do first?
Whatever you want to do, Steve.
Should we do an icebreaker?
Get back.
Should we do an icebreaker? Should we do a random wheel of convo?
Do it.
Random wheel of convo. Ooh, yeah. Okay.
We need something a little bit more than that. And this week on Random Wheel of Convo.
Before I put it on screen, I'm going to take that one out that we discussed earlier. That one's going.
Oh, is that going? I think that's a really good idea, Steve. Everybody wants to know what that section is now. Do that one.
Right. Okay. So what we've got here, first of all, I'm going to put me up there. Hello. And then let's put this on. Woohoo! So basically, the way that this works, folks, is I'm going to click the center of this wheel. We have several topics here that not only myself and Rob are going to talk about for about 10 or 15 minutes, but we're going to ask you to join in. We want you to throw your 2 penneth in, get the old conversation going. The thing that gave me this idea was that whenever I'm in chats on other shows, it always kind of wanders off into a conversation about something else, do you know? And I just thought this would be good to kind of channel what we want to watch, what we want to talk about and control it and then move on, rather than it just taking off and going mad in the chat. So we've got school stories, family and sibling rivalry, holiday tales, phobias and allergies, hobbies, childhood pranks and mischief, food, songs and music, movies, toys, motor cars and bikes, TV comedy shows, sweets and candy, and TV adverts. Do you see how I added a bit of Canadian, Indian and American into that? Because, you know, we're multi country.
Country.
As in countries. Right, let's click it and see what we're going to be doing.
Ground control.
It's a really fast wheel, this. Hold on to your seats. Hold on to your seats, everyone.
Oh no, oh no. At least that one topic's not there.
Yeah, Rob panicked when he saw that one. Oh. TV comedy shows. Ooh, yes.
Well,
Let me take the wheel away, and let's go back to the camera.
TV comedy shows.
Oh no, I've gone. Where have I gone, Rob?
See, now you've left it all up to me to take control. That was
I'm
a really
back.
bad idea.
I'm back. All right, so TV comedy shows. Go.
TV
Give me
comedy
your
shows.
give me your best one from years ago.
Okay, so the first thing I'm going to say is that the way life is now, most of the TV that I watch is Netflix. I don't watch a lot of live TV because it's hard to schedule life around what's on TV. I don't bother. I just find something and watch it when I want to watch it. Yeah, you're saying Big Bang Theory, Porridge, The Young Ones. Yeah, we watched all those back in the 70s and 80s.
Father Ted.
Frank Spencer, killer right there. Some
Yes.
mothers still have them. Betty. Rodney and Del Boy, of course.
Google just talked to me. So, yes, Betty. Frank Spencer was my my all-time favourite classic comedy. I've actually a story there. Our house caught fire while we were watching Some Mothers Do Have 'Em. Can anybody remember the tune? Can you remember the tune, Rob, from Some Mothers Do Have 'Em?
You know,
I will not
best
linger
thing in
at your
that,
door. Away I have to race, for I can tell you wish me well by the look that's on your face. Ah.
there's so many classic moments in that. It's, you know what it is I like about Frank Spencer was the fact that it was slapstick comedy. You don't
Yeah.
get much slapstick comedy anymore. It doesn't work anymore. But do you remember when the chimney stack was coming down and he was running away from it, or I forget if he was
Yeah,
riding
well,
away from it or whatever.
He did all his own stunts.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think he hurt himself quite a lot.
Yeah,
There was the Morris Minor at the edge of the cliffs of Dover, teetering off the edge of the cliffs of Dover. Do you remember that scene?
Yeah, and then the famous roller skates scene where he roller
goes
skates
under a
all the way
bus.
out the theatre and ends up on the back of a truck somewhere in the back of a truck. Yeah, mad.
Yeah. And then there was the chicken coop. He had a chicken coop that collapsed around him.
Let's go through some of the lists. Oh God, you see, David McLernan's just mentioned one there. I just don't get. I don't get it. Mrs. Brown's Boys. Don't get it.
Is that the Irish one?
It's actually not Irish. It's an Irish man that wrote it, but it's actually I think a BBC or a channel. I'm not sure what channel. I just don't get it. I don't like it. I've never really liked Mrs. Brown's Boys. It drives me mental. It's trying to be old school funny, but it's not, in my mind.
What? One Foot in the Grave. That's another one.
Yeah, One Foot in the Grave was good, and Onslow and all them. Father Ted, obviously classic, absolutely brilliant. 40 Towers. The owner just mentioned 40 Towers, brilliant.
I was never one for Monty Python.
I could give and take it. Some of it was all right. Some of it would just drive you mad.
Or Benny Hill, for that matter.
Yeah, I like Benny Hill for one reason and one reason only.
That's true.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I like Benny Hill. What was the Are You Being Served? Do you remember Are You Being Served? I'm free. Yeah,
I'm free.
That was that
John
one.
Inman, that was. I saw him at the Arndale Centre in Luton doing an advert for Woolworths.
Yeah, and do you know the strange thing there is, and I think I told you this before, when you saw him in Woolworths doing the advert, filming it, myself and my dad were there too, doing plumbing work on the temporary toilets and washrooms and stuff for the stars that were doing it. They put temporary
Hmm.
facilities in, and me and my dad fitted them in Sainsbury's at Woolworths prices. Is it any wonder? Yeah.
That's cool.
Um,
I also saw Windsor Davis in the Wolves advert too. He was coming down in a parachute.
there was tons of them.
It ain't half up, mum. No, was that his show?
I've just seen Rob C put another one up that I absolutely love. Kenny Everett.
Rising Damp.
Kenny Everett was brilliant. Rob CP. All done in the best possible taste.
Whispering
Rising Damp.
Seen? You're not listening. Whispering Grass. Have you seen Windsor Davis with the little guy sing that? I can't remember the little guy's name. Do you recall? Anybody?
No.
He had a great voice, and Windsor Davis's face was just a picture. It was hilarious.
Just with someone saying green grass. Do you remember the Only Fools and Horses? The only Fools and Horses episode where Raquel is singing, and she has a partner singing with her, and he's supposed to be this big, well-known singer, and he gets up and sings the green grass of home. Do you remember that one? No.
No,
he sings all the songs. Del Boy's paid him all this tons and tons of money, and he's got a speech impediment. So every song he sings, he can't pronounce his R's.
Like Elmer Fudd or something. That's
Typical.
funny.
Yeah. Crying over you. Oh, it's brilliant. Yes, comedy shows. There just aren't them anymore. And then, of course, you do all your comedy sketch shows, your Little and Large, Tommy Cooper,
Cannon and Ball.
Cannon and Ball.
I think Bobby Ball just passed away a little while ago.
Yeah, Norman. No, what is it?
Well, Norman Wisdom, he was fantastic.
Oh, Norman Wisdom was just actually, and my favourite comedian it bases himself around Norman Wisdom. That's he's my favourite, and I can't remember him. So we'll move on.
Move on.
No R's. Quaying. Two Ronnies were brilliant. Two Ronnies were absolutely brilliant. Dave Allen live he had that real sort of dark, dry sense of humour where he'd just be sitting there drinking his wine or whatever drink he'd be drinking. Lee Evans, that's him, the owner. Thank you. He'd be drinking his wine and smoking his cigarette, and it'd just be him sitting on a chair, and he'd spout off all this stuff, and it'd just be stupid funny, but he'd just keep it straight. He'd just brilliant, funny man. Anything else there that we've missed?
A lot of that is from England and the UK. So anybody in the US or Canada probably won't know much of that. So
the owner likes Task.
Let's just say this for Canada and the US: Saturday Night Live.
Is that your man? No. Is that your man that does the karaoke car?
Chevy Chase, but it's a lot of other people too.
Oh no, it's not.
Saturday Night Live. I'm not a huge fan of that anymore. It was good when it was back in the 80s and 90s. Anyway, Steve, next segment. Come on, guys.
Harry Enfield. Well, he was funny. Loads of money.
Loads of money, yeah.
Kevin, do I have to? Right, okay. Next one. Should we do your wood? Should we get serious?
Should we do wood?
Let's get serious for a while. Okay. Hold on, don't get carried away yet. I've got to do the whole proper thing. So just chill, right? Just chill. Just stall the digger, as they say here in Ireland. Are you ready? It's Wood of the Week. There you go. That's it. Just Wood of the Week.
And that was it. Okay. So Wood of the Week this week is maple. What are you doing next, Steve? There, just help me out.
You've got to tell me what maple you're having.
Okay, so there's a bunch of different types of maple, and there is some confusion over certain types of maple as well. Rob looks so unimpressed. It takes a lot to impress me anymore, mate.
That's because he's just like, something's going to go wrong. I know it is. It's going to go wrong. I just know it is.
From my end, it's put in my hands. Anyway, okay, let's talk about maple a little bit. So the first thing I want to talk about is hard maple compared to soft maple. Hard maple. Okay, so hard maple is also known as rock maple, and it is generally fairly clear like that picture. So that's hard maple, also known as sugar maple. That's a maple leaf right here on my shirt. That's the tree that they tap for maple syrup in Canada and the US. And that is a very hard wood. It's twice as hard as your other maples. So there's a whole bunch of different types of maple. That's one of them. Sugar maple, which is hard maple. And that's that. So move on to the other types of maple. I've got some notes here I'm looking at as well. Big leaf maple, box elder, which is also known as Manitoba maple. And bring some pictures up there, Steve.
Yeah, well, you're going fast, aren't you? Which one are you going for?
Box elder, Manitoba maple. You've got that picture.
That's that one.
Yeah, so Manitoba maple, that's what they call it in Canada. In the US, they call it box elder. And it has these flames of red that go through the wood. Now, when you cut that and you turn it or you make stuff out of it, that red, the UV will affect it and it will basically turn brown over time. But it's still pretty effective. It looks really cool, especially when you initially turn it. So now if we go to ambrosia maple, because this is very similar. And people confuse these two. So Manitoba maple, ambrosia maple. Now, the easiest way to tell the difference is you see those little holes in the picture? Those are made by the ambrosia beetle. And there's usually an entry and an exit hole, 2 or 3 holes together. And those streaks are basically made, you're going to love this, they're made by the fecal matter of the ambrosia beetle. That's what those streaks are. But it's fantastic wood. It's really, really nice looking wood. And it's similar to ambrosia, similar to Manitoba maple. They get confused all the time. The nice thing about ambrosia is it can be in hard maple, which Manitoba maple is a soft maple. So there's not that much difference in it, really. On the Janka scale, there's a scale called the Janka scale, which tells you the hardness of wood. Now, rock maple, sugar maple, is twice as hard as all the other maples, basically. So obviously, that's the best one you can get your hands on. So move on to one of the other maples there, Steve.
Yeah, what one?
It doesn't matter.
Go with this one then.
So yeah, maple burl. So burl wood is usually, you have another image there of a tree that I sent you with a burl on the side of it.
Yeah, I didn't put that one up. I haven't got that one. Sorry.
Okay, so it looks like a big brain, kind of a bulbous brain that grows on the tree. Basically, what it's caused by is bacteria in the tree, and it affects the tree, and it grows this wart-looking thing on the side of the tree, and you end up with this fantastic figure like that picture. So if you can get your hands on that, it's worth a lot of money. It's good looking wood, and a lot of it you can cut into veneers. You'll find the thin veneer strips of maple burl for making boxes and such. So move on to another one there, Steve.
Boom.
Matchbook. Okay, so this is spalted wood. This is spalted maple. It's got curl in it as well, so it's curly spalted maple. The spalting is caused by fungus again, usually with a dead tree or a tree that's fallen and it's laying on damp ground, and the fungus attacks it and it creates those black zone lines. Basically, a different fungus will get its own zone area, create a zone line, and it will attack that one area. And that's what creates the different colors in different zone line areas. So if you get it before it's completely rotten, that's the best time to get it. If it is completely rotten, then you can dry it and stabilize it, so it's still usable. But the zone lines look fantastic, and you can add color, and the color will go into those separate little areas, and they can look really nice. Okay, move on to curly maple there, Steve.
Eva's going to be dribbling now at the sported maple. Eva just salivates every time she sees sporting in wood. Just so you know that. You want curly maple.
So that's curly maple, and those curls up and down, the chatoyance in them is fantastic. That's where you get your chatoyance with that kind of wood.
Do they know what causes that?
It's the light refraction on the different angles of the grain. So the light refracts on it differently.
Isn't chatoyance French for cat's eyes or something like that, isn't it?
I don't know.
I believe it is. Chatoyance is something to do with cat's eyes, and it reflects just like a cat's eye. I believe, anyway.
I do not know.
Reading that somewhere in a magazine.
What else have you got?
We've got a bit of crotch.
So yeah, crotch section being a branch that veers off from the main trunk. If you're lucky, it comes straight up and then veers off to a V at the top, and the crotch section is dead centered on that piece. So I like turning crotch feature because you get that lovely figure. This is book match, so it's a piece of wood that's got a lot of figure in it. You cut it, and then you basically open it up like that, and you get a mirror image.
So that's two slices of the same piece of wood, right? That's been laid across.
Same, yeah. It's one piece of wood cut in half and opened up like a book, and then you get that mirror image like a butterfly or a devil, whatever you're seeing there.
That would be used more in furniture making, wouldn't it, than turning and stuff like that?
Furniture making, box making, not so much turning. No, not so much turning. Yeah. But again, you can get veneered wood like that as well, and then you can make a desktop guitars. People that make guitars will often book match wood, and then they get that look that they're looking for.
We've got one more, I believe.
One more,
which is the roasted.
So roasted maple, I actually have some of that. Basically what that is, that's roasted maple to make it dark, and it's dark throughout the whole wood, and it has a distinct roasted smell to it. So I didn't know too much about it until recently. Somebody gave me a box load of it, and they said, yeah, this is roasted maple. So it is out there, and it has that distinct dark color. So it looks just like maple, but it's got that distinct dark color. Other than that,
that's them all.
To say, eh?
That's them all, I think.
That's all of them. So I might have a couple more things that I could say. So soft maple is easier to work, but if you're making cutting boards, then obviously hard maple is definitely better. End grain cutting boards, the hard maple is definitely better. Generally, if you've got dark streaks in the wood, generally that's most likely going to be soft maple. Clear maple, hard maple is generally clear. Oh, there was one more, bird's eye. You didn't show me that.
Oh yeah, you're not wrong. That's pretty.
That's bird's eye maple. Similar looking to burl, but it's not burl. Burl is created by fungus. They don't actually know what creates bird's eye maple.
How does it get that little picture of a camera and the numbers in it? Does that grow in it?
What picture of a camera? It doesn't. I don't see a picture.
The copyright stuff that I'm now going to get infringed upon.
Oh, I can't see it. I wouldn't worry about it. We'll send them some royalty from the money.
So they don't know what causes the bird. And tell me this, and tell me no lies. All these different types of maple, can you get different, or can you get all of these or some of these in the same tree?
Yes. You can get these in the same tree. So you could cut a tree down. You could have curly maple. You could have a rotten section which has got some spalting in it. You could have a burl at the top, and you could have some bird's eye down at the base. So yeah, you could have a multitude of different looks in the same tree.
Tommy is saying that bird's eye is a burr.
It's not. It's not a burr. It's similar to a burr, but it's not. I googled it. Wikipedia told me. They said they don't know what it is. They think it could be birds pecking, but it's not. When you look at it, when you break the bark away, it's got these pins that stick out, and it does look like a burl or a burr. But apparently, according to Wikipedia, it's not, and they don't know what it is. So we talked about the Janka hardness scale, or Janka, Janka hardness scale, and that applies to all woods. The harder the wood, the better it is, right?
What they say. Leona says, question, do all maple trees produce maple syrup?
No, just the hard maple, the rock maple. You could try to make maple syrup from the other maples, but it would be sour. It wouldn't taste sweet like from the hard rock maple. So it's known as hard maple, rock maple, or sugar maple. Those three names are for the same tree, and that's the one that produces maple syrup. There's actually a guy in Woodsley, just around the corner from me, that harvests maple syrup from trees in town.
It takes like forever.
Well, no. Okay, so what you do is in the spring, it's still freezing at night. You tap the tree. You drill a 3/8 hole in the tree. You put the tap in, and you hang the bucket off of it. This is a basic way. There's other ways, and then it's amazing how quickly the fluid drips into the bucket. The tree's drinking water, and it's coming out that hole and dripping into the bucket. You take that bucket of fluid, it's maple water, and you can actually drink that water. But if you take that water and boil it down, it will boil down to a certain point where it turns into syrup. And that's how they make maple syrup.
I've seen it on TV, and I know that there's a lot of time spent with the boiling of it, and then skimming it, and then boiling it and skimming it, and boiling it and skimming it. They have to. There's a lot of looking after and babysitting in it. You can't just
you have to
leave it. And
generally what they'll do is they'll have an outhouse. They'll have an outhouse and a massive container with this maple water, and then they'll have a big fire under it and boil it off. Okay,
who knows? Make maple syrup in a toilet. Yes, so that's wood of the week.
Only if you're in prison.
Just before we move on, if there is a particular wood or species of tree or something that you would like to talk about, let us know. You can email us at I can't remember what the email is now. Hold on. It's Rob and Steve Uncut and Live at gmail.com. It is in the show notes below in the description. Everything that we mention, all the people that we mention, and all the companies and things that we mention should all be in the description below in the video. So hopefully I got them all. If I missed any, then I'll go back and I'll check them. All right, let's go to, let's do news. This is me, this one, I believe. So, yeah. You can go there, and I'm going to go here. Hello.
Be quiet then.
Yeah, just this segment, I've just dragged a few bits and pieces that I could just for the first show. If anybody has any events coming up, or you've heard of any sales, if you've heard of any kind of big sales going on in stores, let us know, and we can feature it in news. Just for now, I've kind of grabbed these. I did see a few people in a live talking about Maker Central. Now, Nick Zamit, he's pretty good at keeping us up to date with Maker Central. They're still saying that it's going to go ahead on the 1st and 2nd of May this year. I'm kind of doubting it. I'm fingers crossed that it will happen. I'm not sure that I'll be bringing the van like I originally thought I might do, because the whole customs and all that's changed, and I'm not sure how much more expensive it's going to be to bring the van over. If I bring the van over, it's not, it's a business that happens over here. It's not really happens over there. But what I will do is I'll bring everything over that I do in the van. So, I'll be doing demonstrations and stuff in the space, but probably not with the van there. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm kind of thinking that it might not go ahead. I'm thinking it could. It could be a bit of a, to be honest with you. I think maybe later. What is it? May, June, July. I'm thinking August. It will probably happen if it happens at all. It's, you know, God love COVID. Next bit of news I have. I don't know how many of you know Chris and Nicola Fisher. You know Chris, the blind wood turner, right, Rob?
I do.
Really nice guy.
Turner.
Chris and Nicola have been keeping us up to date. They've moved, okay, Rob. They had to move out of there. I don't know if you've been following them at all on social media.
I know they've moved. I wasn't sure why.
Yeah, so they're having a new house built, and it's in an estate. I believe this is it. They can correct me if I'm wrong, but they've been jumping from rented property to rented property, and kind of doing hopscotches around different properties because their house wasn't completed and they had to be out of the house that they sold. So they've been keeping us up. Chris is on TikTok. Follow him on TikTok. Some of his videos are quite funny and quite informative as well. But he has just announced that himself and Nicola are going to be moving into their new house on the 29th of January. So congratulations, Chris and Nicola. Wish you all the best in your new house. All the links and everything to follow Chris are down below. I didn't put the TikTok in. I must put TikTok link in. But yeah, go and follow them and follow that story. Congratulations, Chris and Nicola. Oh, they do About the Fishers as well, which is like a podcast too. This is a website. Rob, you know about this one, don't you? And you know the lady that runs it. Virtual Wood Club.
Yeah, I do. Gina Downs runs this. Basically, for the past, I don't know how many years, 20 years, whatever. She's been running the wood shows. Woodstock was the one that I knew about in the past when my dad was wood turning. Every year, September, he would go up to Woodstock, which is about 2.5 hours from where we live. And from there, you can buy tools and wood and jigs and all kinds of really cool stuff. And the last, how many years now? 2 or 3 years? 3 years. I started doing the wood shows myself as Woodsley Summercraft, selling the products that I have. And it's an amazing event. It's the camaraderie amongst all of the different people that are there is fantastic. They do competitions with finished pieces, and there's so many things that you can get into one place, which makes it great. There's usually sales that are going on, and it's a lot of fun. And it's usually over the whole weekend, so it'll be 3 days. So in Woodstock, I would stay there for the weekend. I would be there with Greg from Killian Tools. I think you were going to bring that up, Steve.
Yeah, that's another one we're going to feature in just a minute. Yeah, absolutely.
So Greg from Killian Tools, the two of us would go up together and we would have a booth together. So we'd be selling the stuff that I sell and the stuff that he sells in the one booth. And since COVID hit, we can't do that. So there was a show in Toronto, there was a show in Woodstock, and there was a show in Hamilton, all in Ontario. And then there was one coming up in Ottawa, and it was cancelled. That was last year. That was cancelled due to COVID, which really upset me anyway, upset a lot of people, because it was going to be an amazing opportunity. It's an 8-hour drive from where I live. That would have been fantastic. So Gina managed to put on a virtual wood show a little while ago, which we did. It was a lot of fun. Definitely different experience to a live show, which honestly, I must admit, I prefer a live show. Talking to people one-on-one is so much more fun than trying to talk to people when you're not even sure if there's anybody there. Some of the time, it's hard to get a good feedback from people when you're online. Like even like this, it's hard to get feedback sometimes. The chat's great. Leona, is she talking in your ear?
No. Don't have her in my ear.
So really the only feedback we get is from the chat. And if people aren't chatting, then it's really hard to know what people are thinking or if they're even listening. But there it is. So that's the wood shows. So
So the dates are on there, folks. You can always go back and, I mean, you can screenshot. If you're watching on your phone now, you can screenshot. I believe those virtual shows are open to anyone across the world, aren't they? It's not just Canada.
That's happening this weekend, right now, actually, or soon, tonight, 6:30. I think it starts tonight, and then tomorrow night as well. But yeah, it's continuous for several weeks, I believe. I think she wants me to do a virtual demo at one point on a Thursday night, which I can do because I'm not working right now. I'm off. This is it, folks. I'm a turner. It's full time.
Good luck with that technology. Yeah, so Leona just reminded me as well that just going back to Chris Fisher, they've just started a new venture, as Leona said, or a new project, and it's called Turnability, and he's teamed up with what's the lad's name, Leona? I'm rubbish remembering names. Leona remind us anyway. But he's a young lad. I believe he has cerebral palsy, and he's just started turning, and Chris has took him under his wing, and they're going to be kind of rolling out a few ideas where they can bring disability into crafting, and especially wood turning, because that's their genre. Obviously, I don't think they're going to stick to wood turning, but it's to show that if you have a disability, it's not necessarily going to disable you from doing the hobbies that you want to do. So I'll move on. I'm sure Leona remind me of. I'm wondering, there's a chat. Oh yeah, Nathan
Rubber
Adams
Dub says I'm mute. Rubber Dub has said that I'm muted. Can you all hear me? I don't think so. I haven't touched a thing. I promise you.
Yeah, Rubber Dub's a troublemaker. Anyway. I wouldn't trust anything that comes out of Rubber Banana's mouth. I tell you, he's a troublemaker. I'm only messing. Loves you, really. Okay, I'll move on anyway. The Association of Wood Turners of Great Britain, the AWGB, International Wood Turning Seminar. It's changed to the 24th and 26th of September this year. That's a more realistic date, I think, with the way things are going. I definitely think that that's probably possible, but that's the dates. Again, you can screenshot that if you are in Great Britain and you're wondering if the show's going ahead. That is the information there. You can go, like I say, all the links are down below for all these sites. So, and we did Britain, so we'll move on to the Irish Woodturners Guild. Unfortunately, there is no up-to-date details about future seminars for the Irish Woodturning Guild. They did cancel the 2021, and there's no. It just says that they'll keep us posted with future events, but yeah, nothing yet. But I'll keep you up to date with the show. And then we've got the Conkers Live question time. This is from Chestnut Products. Terry over in Chestnut Products holds a show once a month, I believe it is. But this is a question time show on the 22nd of January. So that's not tomorrow, but the next day. So it's Friday, is it? Yeah. 7:30. And his guests are Emma Cook, Richard Findley, and David Lowe, and they're going to be answering questions. I'm not sure if they're going to be actually turning or just answering questions. And of course, it's hosted by Terry Smart from Chestnut Products. So that is all the news I have.
Dave Twydell's in the chat.
I know Dave Twydell. Dave Twydell is in the chat.
Hello, Dave.
Hi, Dave. It's me. He ain't heavy. He's my brother.
He's your brother.
You must be really behind in chat, Rob. Oh no, you're not.
No, I was trying to get a word in, but you didn't even take a breath.
Well, I was saying the news, wasn't I? Do you have news? Do you, do you have bloody news? No, you don't have bloody news, do you? The only news you offered was bloody Trump left. Everyone knows that.
Thank God for that. I don't even want to get into it. I wasted 19 minutes and 45 seconds of my... Okay, news. You were talking about news like Killian Tools, right? No? Is that not in this section?
No, that's in the tools and jigs and tools.
Okay, I don't know.
Come on, Rob.
You carry on, Steve.
Should we do that next? We'll do the jigs and tools because you've got something you want to show, folks. Jigs and tools.
Okay. I went Austin Powers to stop peeing.
Yes. So Rob has something he wants to demonstrate to us, I believe, first.
Oh, possibly. I came up with an idea that it would be interesting to show people different jigs that you can make for yourself cheaply and to help you in your craft and in your workshop. I've made a whole bunch myself. It took me forever to decide to make them because it takes you away from making something like a bowl or a goblet or whatever, or a pen or whatever, to make the jig. And if you don't set aside some time to make that jig, you're never going to do it. So I did make a whole bunch of jigs, and I made this one yesterday. I'm going to show you now what it is and what it's for. It's the most simple jig you could possibly make for doing something a little special on your lathe. Now, I got the idea from a fella at Christmas time, and he was making Christmas ornaments, and he was making the globe, and he was hollowing it out by drilling it out. Really simple. And I'm going to bring you down with the camera so you can take a look at what I've made here.
Here's one he made earlier.
So I made a little sphere here. It took me 10 minutes to make that, not 2 hours like Banana did the other day, but that's okay. Okay, so what I've done is I've basically, you could use a dowel rod essentially, but I turned this from a piece of maple. First of all, I had an oblong block of wood that was the right height so that I could drill a hole 2 inches down, that it would be dead center of my spindle when I put it into my banjo. So the diameter of this spindle, the post, has to be the same as the post on your tool rest. So you're basically turning a tool rest or a tool rest post with a hole in the center of it. Now, if you could make a steel one, even better. If you can get someone to do that for you, this is basically throwaway. The closer that you can get this hole to the shaft size of your Forstner bit, the better. I think you guys can see that. Now, so basically you want to use your spindle lock in various positions, and then you drill straight in, and you keep this in the same position, and you put it into 4 or 5 positions on the spindle lock, and each one will hollow it out to the center. And then you can turn the banjo around to this side and do the same thing over there. Now, let's have a look at this for a second, see if I can lock this into position.
Ruben wants to know, but which maple is that?
This, I think, is bird's eye. I went all out. No, it's just soft maple, this is. But like I said, if you could get some steel, get somebody to turn it on a lathe or drill it out and turn it on a lathe, even better. So, okay, so I've got the spindle locked in position. Now, normally you would want to index this to specific positions. I'm just doing this purely for demonstration. And then basically,
no?
What's that?
You can't tell us the maths about indexing it, no?
I'm not doing the math because I was trying earlier and my brain was cracking. Well, because 48, never mind. Anyway. Now my Forstner bit's probably going to be dull. You watch, that'll be the next thing. It is. Okay. I'm going to release the Kraken, and you would move it and continue moving it around into different positions, and you would get your, I'm just going to put one there, what the heck.
Jeff said he should drill on reverse.
Didn't somebody just turn something in reverse and it took them half an hour? I think somebody just did that. And then their tool got so hot, they posted it on Facebook or somewhere the other day. So you can see what's happening here. You can see what's happening. If I can release it. Okay.
Mike's just showing off.
Sorry?
Mike says, I can make spheres with my fluting jig.
Oh, that's very nice. I'm happy for you.
He didn't say it like
with all sincerity. I say it with all sincerity. Oh, now is this in the same position? I think we're in the same position. I'm going to drill a third one. This is
go for it.
What is this? This is Osage orange. It's quite hard, and the drill bit's not brand new. It is very dull. You'll get the idea though as we go around this. And then there'll be a cube in the bottom of it, just like Steve's done before.
Yeah, but it left spikes in the cube.
I don't want a cube. Whatever's in the middle is coming out. It's going to be a hollow. Oh, now I've cocked it up. Never mind. Anyway, that's as far as I'm going to go with it. It's just for demonstration purposes only. Use the indexing system properly, and then you don't even have to use this size of a drill bit. You could use whatever size you want. I think I chose a 3/4. Maybe I should have gone with like a 1/2 inch or 5/8 or something. But that's the general gist of what this jig is. Now, if I take that out, so you can see what the jig is. So this slots into the banjo. Bring this back up.
That's cool.
Oop. And that's it. It's as simple as that. And it can be quite effective. Just take your time in with your indexing system. I've only used the indexing system once or twice before, so I would probably go with 4 holes, not 5, because it starts to get a bit thin there, you see. But
so you don't have to have a perfect sphere to start with. So you just do it would generally make its own shape as it's going.
Your sphere doesn't have to be perfect. This isn't perfect. I haven't finished it. You could even do finials, like for a Christmas ornament, and then it would hang from the tree. You know, you could do some more holes around the center, and then the same thing underneath. Obviously, a sharp drill bit would be critical because it could get quite delicate. If you know, it will get quite delicate. So use a sharp drill bit.
Ruben said that the Forstner bit could snap the small pieces at the side, so it could be quite an aggressive tool, the Forstner bit as well, can't it? So maybe
well, it depends on the wood too. And if you leave a slightly bigger gap between the holes, then you know it can be done.
Yeah,
that's jigger. Doesn't get much easier than that.
Okay, so I'm going to go to while we're on jigs and tools. So in this segment, it's going to be kind of mentioning tools that we've found or tried or other people have tried, or if we get any questions about certain tools, throw them into us. We can discuss them. We can talk about them. No problem. You can throw them in the chat there. Maybe Leona will grab it because it's not like she's doing anything. Lol. And she can jot it down. She'll send it to me or Rob, and we'll source some information for you. So as Rob mentioned there, Killian Tools is a Canadian company. Rob, if you want to just explain that to the good folks.
Yes, Killian Tools. That's the owner of Killian Tools is Greg. He's a buddy of mine, and he's the guy that I do the wood shows with. He sells carbide cutters and the bars. So basically, you buy the bar with the cutter. I think they average around 56 Canadian dollars, and you get the bar with a cutter in a plastic tube, and then that's how you receive it. So what you then do is you can either buy a handle, or being a wood turner, make your own handle for it, and now you've got yourself a nice carbide tool that didn't cost you $175 like some of the competitors do. So I highly recommend going to his website there. And if you enter the coupon code WS10, that's Woodsley Summercraft, WS10, you'll get a 10% discount at the checkout if you spend over $100. So if you spend over $100, you'll get a 10% discount.
That's cool. And all the links and everything, again, are down in the description. And another link, I think you know about that one too, Rob, the Star Bond.
Yeah, 1 second there. I'm just going to... Rubber Dub says, I have a hook tool. I'm not sure what he means by a hook tool, unless he's referring to this one. Is that the one you're talking about, Rubber Dub?
Oh, that's the Easy Wood Hollower, is it?
That's the Easy Wood Hollower number 3. Or are you referring to this one?
The ring tool.
Which is, it's a deep hollowing tool by is it Robert Sorby?
Yeah, it looks like the Sorby.
No, it's by Crown Tools.
Oh, all right.
Rubber Dub. Oh, it could have been this one. This is for making captured rings, if that's the one you were referring to. I'm not sure if that's the one, Rubber Dub, if you want to.
Hook tools are something I want to give a try. I was actually searching the old interwebs the other day for one. I want to get one. I want to try it. I think hook tools are designed for wet turning, really. I know the Russians and the Japanese use hook tools, and it's wet wood that they would turn mainly, because I'd say they're quite an evil tool if the wood was hard. But oh no, maybe that was what I saw. Right, I thought it was a hook.
I see Rubber Dub's respondents there too. Yeah, no, I've been gradually building an array of tools, ones that I use, and it's surprising. When I first started turning, I didn't realize the amount of different tools that I would use. You can actually spend a fortune in this hobby, that's for sure. No question about that at all. There's so many different options on tools you can buy. So anyway, getting back to this, starbond.com. If you have to go to my website first, which is www.woodsley-summercraft.ca, and you're not buying anything from me, you're buying it from Starbond. You click on the affiliate link that I have on my website, and it will take you to their website. And then on checkout, if you use the code WS15, you'll get a 15% discount at checkout. Now, Starbond has got an array of different products, from clear, thin, medium thin, medium thick, thick CA, black CA, brown CA, white CA. They have flexible CA, and now they have an odorless CA, and also the accelerator. They got a whole array of stuff. And in fact, I'm planning on doing a Starbond giveaway soon on my YouTube channel, my other channel. Well, we could do it here even.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Who wants it? How do we give that away, Steve?
The link, by the way, to your webpage again is down in the description of the video, so people can just click on that. Yeah, we can do giveaways and everything. We can do that.
Yeah.
We'll discuss that, and we'll sort it out and do that one week soon.
Okay. Well, I do have some Starbond product that I could certainly give away, for sure. But yeah, if you want Starbond CA, it's one of the top super glues out there. It's really good stuff. I use it all the time. It helps stabilize wood. when you don't have a proper stabilizing setup, you can fix cracks and little inclusions and things. There's you can stabilize the bark on live edge pieces with it. There's so many things you can do with it. It's good stuff. But starbond.com, that's where you get.
They do a lot of colours, don't they? Or they do a few colours anyway, don't they? Starbond.
Yeah, I just mentioned that. Did you hear?
No, I wasn't listening.
Light brown,
Anyway.
light brown, dark brown, light brown, dark brown, black, white, and black and white. I think that's it.
Can you mix them? Are they mixable to
I have no idea.
Like a sludge grey?
No idea.
Yes, well, that's starbond.com. Again, the link is down to Rob's website down below if you want to check that out. Okay, so the next, because we're talking about jigs and stuff like that, I had to mention this guy. Everybody knows this guy, but this man never ceases to blow my mind with the way that he invents.
One second, Steve. So Richard says, do they post to Ireland? I think they'll post anywhere.
They do, yeah.
I think they do,
yeah. Yeah, I think they do.
They're based in California.
I can find that out for you, Richard, anyway, and either let you know in next week's show or I can send you a mail anyway. That's no problem. Izzy Swan. Everybody knows Izzy Swan, but when you want to know about jigs and stuff like that, this man is stupid, mad, crazy, but so clever. He is an unbelievable engineer when it comes to tools and jigs and stuff like that. He's always inventing. But if you check out Izzy, I've put links to his website and to his YouTube page, and this is his Instagram. He's always coming up with jigs and stuff, but on his YouTube channel, he's pretty much got a jig for anything that you could possibly want. That guy turned a sphere with a table saw. He made a jig that you just go and run it a few times around on the table saw, and he made a sphere out with the table saw. He makes bowls with the table saw. He does everything. Just amazing man. Everybody knows him, but I couldn't help but shout Izzy out, because when we were talking about jigs, you know, I might try and get in touch with Izzy one day, and we'll try and get him on as a guest, because he is a really, really interesting man to talk to. A lot of health issues and stuff.
Dinosaur.
Yeah. Dinosaur, exactly. Yeah, he's well known for the dinosaur.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the battery powered stuff. So that is, folks, that is jigs and tools for this week. Well done, Rob. Nice.
Yes.
Yes. Wow. It's like working and stuff. So we've got around about 15 minutes left in the show. We've got a couple of other things. I think what we might do, seeing as though it's his birthday, we might go on to what you doing, Robbie? Hold on, let me put the right screen on. What you doing? What you got, Robbie? Even I've got to find the recordings here. Now I couldn't work it. I've got to do a little bit more study. I've got a confession to make when it comes to this. I couldn't get the sound to play on the software that I'm using, and I don't understand why, but it is what it is. But I'm going to play it over my microphone. So basically, let me just add myself into this. Actually, we don't even need that. We can just go back to the camera scene, because what's going to happen is I'm going to play you, Robbie. I'm going to play 7 parts that I've recorded, okay? And Robbie's describing something. Now, Rob, if you work it out, don't shout it out, okay? Keep it to yourself, and we'll see how long it takes the audience to guess what Robbie is describing. I gave him something, and I said, Robbie, can you describe that for me? So this is the first one. Let me know if you can hear it. You should be able to hear it across my microphone. So
you can make them small and big.
So there you go. I'll play it again.
You can make them small and big.
Did you hear that?
It makes things small and big.
You can make them small and big. Okay, so not much information there, Robbie. All right, we'll go with number 2. Any guesses at the moment? You can make them small and big. Keep it clean. Spheres, willies, goblets, chess pieces. No, none of those. No. Okay, we'll go for number 2.
They're made out of plastic.
Made out of plastic.
They're made out of plastic.
They're made out of plastic, so you can make them small and big, and they're made out of plastic. Is it an actual number 2? Bowls. Oops, too late. Snowballs out of plastic. No, David. Product savers. No, not product savers. Oh, by the way, you can get your product savers at... No, I'm not going to do that.
Not in Canada.
You can make them small and big, and you can and they're made of plastic. Right, we'll go for number 3.
They got some bits of rubber.
They got some bits of rubber. You can make them small and big. They're made out of plastic, and they got some bits of rubber. Made out of plastic. Cars, Lego, dinosaurs. A yo-yo. Shut up, Jeff. Not funny. A big or small plastic thing. They got some bits of rubber. Wheels. Wheels. Okay. I think number 4 now, isn't it?
They're black, grey, and silver.
Black, grey, and silver. Okay, we're going to start getting to the point where you're going to start guessing what they are now. All right. Let's go with number 5. Here we go.
You can wear it on your head.
Ooh, you can wear it on your head. Black, grey, and silver, made out of plastic. You can make them big and small. They've got rubber, and you can wear it on your head. Airplay to the owner is writing it up what it is. Wayne Bigfoot, my hair is black, grey, and silver. I don't think he's seen you. Okay, we're going to go with number 6. We do have a winner.
Some could be charged and some could be plugged in.
Okay, I'll play that again because I spoke over it.
Some could be charged and some could be plugged in.
Some can be charged and some can be plugged in. And like I said, we've got a couple of winners in the chat there. We're playing number 7.
You use them to listen to music.
You'll use them to listen to music. Now everybody's got that now. And Robbie's going to tell us what it is.
They're headphones.
Yay! Well done, Robbie. There you go. Actually, I think let me see. Ian in the shed. Was it Sarah that mentioned it first, or was it Ian in the shed?
Rubber dub. No, Ruben said it.
I think Sarah got it way back. Did she? Anyway, it was for a bit of fun. You win the knowledge of knowing that you understand what Robbie was describing. And here they are. He was describing these silver and black headphones. There you go. Well done, Robbie. I think he described. We'll do one of them each week. I'll give him some random thing to describe. And testing it, I got him to describe Wayne. Oh no! I got him to describe. This is Wayne Bigfoot's goblet that he sent me with the captive ring, and then he sent me a little baby one to go with it. That goes inside, and I've got Valerie's finial too. But yes, so that's that. Well done. How much time we got left? We've got 10 minutes left. What have we got? Fascinating fact. Oh, show. Fascinating facts. Come on, Rob. Come on. Join in. Fascinating facts.
Fascinating facts.
Yes, this week in Fascinating Facts,
This is where Steve shines.
we are going to talk about the General Sherman tree. Yeah, we are. Let me get my
Big one.
information. Yeah. So this is the largest tree in the world. Largest tree in the world. Now, not tallest, largest, as in its mass. Okay, so the largest tree is unsurprisingly in the USA. The tree is a giant. Now, I might pronounce this wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Sequoia, known as the General Sherman, with a height of over 80 meters, and at its widest, the circumference is over 30 meters. And these measurements mean it has the largest trunk volume of any tree in the world. So that is the Sherman. I have a couple of pictures of that just to give you an idea of its size. That is quite a large, hefty man standing at the base of the tree, and he just looks like an ant. I would love to see that tree at some point. Wouldn't you just love to climb that tree?
Well, I tell you what, I was in San Francisco a couple of years ago, and I went over to the giant redwood forest, and there's lots of giant sequoias, and I'm not sure if the General Sherman's there or not. I didn't see that particular tree because there's different areas that you can go to, and they really do push you through there fast. But
Yeah.
these trees are absolutely massive. We stood in a cutout in the middle of one tree. You could drive a car through it, and yeah, they look just like that. There's crevices in them that you can climb into, and they're pretty cool. I got some cool photographs from when we were there.
Rob's just saying he thought the tallest tree was a sequoia. I've got a couple of more bits of information here. The largest horse chestnut tree in the UK has a much more modest girth of 7.33 meters, but it also is also of note in the world record, or in the logs of the world, because it is 300 years old and stands in the grounds of Disraeli's former home of the Hugadon estate in Buckinghamshire. The tallest tree is also in the USA. The tallest tree in the world is over 115 meters tall and is called Hyperion. Approximately one of the titans, apparently one of the titans in Greek mythology. It is a redwood located in the Redwood National Park in California. And in 2014, the tallest tree in the UK was declared to be a Douglas fir in Reelig Glen near Inverness at 66.4 meters. It's quite tiny compared to the Hyperion, but still an amazing sight to see. Just a couple of other interesting facts about trees. Trees never die of old age. It's insects, diseases, and people that usually kill them. And the world is home to more than 23,000 different kinds of trees. The Amazon basin is the biggest area of tropical forest on Earth, spanning a whopping, get this, 8.5 million acres. Jeebus. And on a different story.
Well, on the same story, if I get a word in Africa, I can't pronounce it. The baobab tree is a massive tree in Africa. There's actually a bar inside a tree in Africa where you can actually go and drink.
Oh, that's cool.
That's inside a tree. But
that is cool.
The base of the tree is massive, but it's not as tall as the General Sherman or anything. But it's massively wide, really old.
On another note,
Go Steve.
Nothing to do with trees or wood or anything like that. It's Skittles. Do we all eat Skittles? Everyone loves Skittles, don't they? Yeah, everybody loves Skittles. My kids eat Skittles by the bucket load. I used to be able to eat them until my teeth wouldn't let me. But apparently, here's an interesting fact for you about Skittles. Red food dye, the beloved chemical that gives your Skittles, Starbursts, and red-coloured pastries their deep, delicious hue, isn't as harmless as you might think. Manufacturers dry the cochineal beetle and crush them into a powder that, when mixed with water, turns red. According to change.org.petition, I have to do that for legal purposes, apparently, you've likely consumed over 1 pound of this red dye in your life, which adds up to a staggering 70,000 of the beetles. I'm not saying that word again. Look for the keywords carmine, cochineal extract, or carminic acid on food labels to spot the red powder. And there's a lot of other beetly things in products too. So there you go. That is this week's interesting, fascinating fact.
Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating.
I've
thought it.
We'll throw a few more of those things. I'll get Rob didn't kind of know a lot of the stuff that I had in mind. We'll be talking a lot more. Now Rob has kind of got an idea as well of which way we're going. We'll throw a few more interesting facts and things like that. It's just a bit of crack to find out what's going on in the world. Honey fungus is the largest organism in the world. Honey fungus. Let me I'm going to research that one. For next week.
Not now, you've got less than 2 minutes.
No, not now, but I'm just making a note of it. Honey fungus. Yes. So, folks, let me go back here. We've got, 2 minutes left of the show. I think we've pretty much put the kibosh and everything. There's only the Rob and Steve looking back, but I think we can leave that for next
Well, we
week.
did that at the beginning too.
Yeah, we did a bit of that. We'll do a bit more of that next week. But that's it, folks. That's
You're
kind
not
of
going to do your video.
Oh,
You're not going to play those little clips.
That is
Do it. One of them. Come on.
That is the Rob and Steve looking back. All right, we'll do it. All right, we're going to do it, even if we go over by a couple of minutes.
Okay, so remember, this is 1991. We were 20 years old.
Yes, we were 20 years old. So basically, I had an apartment with my now wife. It was our first house, and my wife used to work nights, and myself and Rob used to come and visit, and us being the mature men that we were back then, we did this. Now it's a really poor video, but what you've got to think about is that this was done on a camcorder.
It's 30 years old.
30 years old, and it was done on a camcorder. All right, that was probably the size of Rob. But this is the first part. This is stop animation at its best, people. I mean, you will not get
like Hollywood legends.
This is, I tell you, this was just the start of our fame. I mean,
before YouTube.
This is way before YouTube. Does people remember Morph? I don't know where he went. Where did he go? He just took off.
Threw him back down.
Yeah, Rob's on the camera. I made the creatures, and then it goes to the video too. It's not very long, but so Morph has now fallen into the abyss of the ocean, and he's trying to fight for his life, swimming in the ocean. And Nessie has come along, and you can't see that stick sticking out of his head, and he bites the head off of poor Morph, eats him, devours him. and
There's the tail going down into the ocean.
is into the ocean.
And waves at you with his tail.
Oh.
Wallace and Gromit. Yeah, exactly. This is before Wallace and Gromit.
Oh.
Thanks, Steve.
So that's that, folks. That's looking back. We managed to do all of the things. It kind of worked out in about an hour and a half. That's kind of where we wanted. But
Gav says it's better than the moon landing, that video.
Yeah, it is.
True. It was on YouTube.
We should put it on YouTube and see how many views we get.
Yeah.
It's on YouTube now. What am I saying? It's famous now.
It is on YouTube now, but yeah.
So that's it, guys. Thank you very much for joining us on our first show. It's been a blast. How did you think it went, Rob? You enjoyed it? It was a quick hour and a half.
I enjoyed it. I was more comfortable doing this show than when we tried it before. I was actually sitting over there. But I find now too that there's no lag, no delay. It's like bam, 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 bam.
Yeah.
So it's a lot easier. I have a hard time with lag because you can't keep up with what's happening because it's already happened before you respond.
Yeah, exactly. People did mention, I did see in the chat that people mentioned, is this a green screen of a green screen? It will work as a green screen eventually, but I've got to sort the light out. I just couldn't get it done in time today with everything else that I was trying to get done. There's a lot of work gone into this, believe it or not. But I'm going to get a bit of light onto this, and then eventually I shall disappear. And when I'm in the other things, I will just kind of hover and you won't see the green screen behind me, but eventually it will disappear, a proper green screen. I see my brother says, well done, you two. Good to see you brothers from other mothers.
Cheers,
together.
Dave.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. That's
the way it should be.
Yeah, that's what this is all about. We can't be together because there's so many miles apart. I would love Rob to be down the road from me, and vice versa, I'm sure. But it just can't be that way, unfortunately. We've got
can't happen right now. It's
yeah.
Is it 3,000 or 3,500 kilometers?
Yeah, it's a couple
Steps.
of miles anyway.
Rows on a boat, something like that.
Yes, so that's it, folks. We're going to say good night.
That's how we used to dance in the 80s.
Yeah. Oh, that's for another show. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna say. Yeah. Anyway, that's it, guys. We will see you next week. For now, it's goodbye from me, and it's
goodbye from him.
Yeah. You see, that's a terrible.
That's copyrighted. We can't say that.
No. It's good night from Jim, and it's good night from Mom. It's just ad-libbing, you know. That's it, guys. I will say goodbye. Rob say goodbye, and we'll see you next week on the Rob and Steve show. Hope you enjoyed it. Please leave comments. I know you've said you've liked it. Leave comments down below and share it about. And please let the social medias know that you enjoyed it and all that, because it does matter. It will get more people.
Steve's shoulder. Give me a high five, Steve.
Yeah, right, guys. Oh, I've got to do a thing. Hold on, I've got to go over here and get ready to say goodbye. All right, guys. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Ah! I forgot to hit the end.
Be back.